Your camera's light meter is basically useless for landscape and outdoor photography. Well, kind of. I know that sounds pretty dramatic, but hear me out, because that little indicator is just averaging your entire scene into one number. It's a great starting point to learn how to balance exposure, but it doesn't give you the full picture, because most scenes, especially outdoors, have really bright areas, really dark areas, and everything in between. The histogram shows you all of that in one preview, including exactly how much information you may be losing from your photo in the shadows or the highlights. But for most photographers, seeing this little graph just feels too technical to care about. So here's one of the easiest explanations of it you may ever hear, plus how to actually use it for better photos no matter your experience, camera brand, or camera mode that you're shooting in. But before we understand the histogram, we need to be on the same page of why it's better than your light meter, which is that little scale that goes from minus to plus with that 0 in the middle. The light meter is taking your entire scene and basically averaging it into one number to place its little marker in. Is the scene overall too bright, too dark, somewhere in the middle? That's what it's trying to tell you with that marker. And for a lot of situations, it can work fine. But the problem is that most scenes aren't evenly lit, especially if you're shooting landscapes or anything outdoors. As I mentioned before, you've got a really bright sky, a really dark foreground perhaps, maybe some shadows in the trees. Your light meter is going to look at all of that and go, yeah, that looks about right, even when parts of your photo could be completely blown out or crushed to black. The histogram is different. Instead of giving you one averaged number, it shows you every single pixel's brightness level in your photo, from pure black on the left to pure white on the right. So you can actually see when something's about to be clipped, or more simply, you can see when you're losing details in the highlights or shadows before you even take a photo. Something that's much harder to tell when you're using the light meter alone. Now I know the histogram kind of looks intimidating at first with all those like spiky mountain shapes, but there's actually a really simple way to think about the whole thing. And once you get it, you may wonder why you ever relied on the light meter at all. To understand the histogram, imagine every pixel in your photo is being sorted based on how bright it is. Bright pixels, your highlights, will get placed on the right side. Dark pixels, your shadows, are going to go and get placed on the left. And any of the pixels that are in between, pure black and pure white in terms of brightness, are going to get sorted between the two ends. Now, in case you're wondering, color does not have an impact on this. It's just the brightness of those colors that your camera sees. So the histogram is basically a map showing you where all of your pixels land based on their individual brightness values. Again, it doesn't care about color, just brightness. Now your camera has done all of the hard work of sorting all those pixels across your histogram. So now your job is pretty straightforward. Just keep the pixels away from the very edges of the histogram as best as you can. We can do that with a few different camera settings that I'll explain later in this video. But what if you have pixels that hit the far right edge of the histogram? Well, that means they are pure white, aka completely blown out, no detail, no information that you can recover with editing. That far right edge is just pure white. The same applies for the far left edge, except for the blacks. So if your histogram is touching that edge, they're completely crushed shadows. There's nothing to recover there in terms of detail. So the goal is to keep the whole shape inside of your histogram away from the edges as best as you can. In summary, basically when you see the histogram slamming into that right edge, that's basically your camera telling you, hey, you're losing some highlight detail, you might want to darken your photo a bit. If it's hitting the left edge, crushing your shadows, you should probably brighten things up. Again, the goal is to keep as few pixels as possible from hitting those outer edges of your histogram so that you're left with the most details possible in your image. Now, for those who want a slightly more technical explanation, the histogram is literally a graph of tonal distribution. The horizontal axis is brightness going from 0 at black to 255, which is white. Then on the vertical axis, that is how many pixels are at each brightness level. But honestly, all you have to remember is that bright is on the right, dark is on the left. Avoid the edges the best you can, and that's pretty much all most of us need to know. All right, so now you know how to read the thing, but how do you actually use it when you're out shooting and trying to balance it with different shooting modes? Well, let me show you exactly how this works in the field, first in auto modes, and then we'll talk about manual mode. Now, if you want a quick reference of all of this, how to read the histogram, when to adjust, what to look for, I've put together a free guide that you can download to your phone and use the next time you're out shooting. It's in the description below, totally free. Anyways, let's get back to it. So in this automatic mode, you can see the histogram up in the top right corner and how it is fully over to the right hand edge, indicating that the photo has too many really bright pixels that just have no information. So currently this automatic mode is basically overexposing my photo based on what the histogram is telling me. So without having to change any of my settings or know how to change any of my settings, I could use exposure compensation to easily fix that. On my camera, I can just change that by adjusting this dial here. I'll move it over to a negative value, so over towards the left, and now I'm darkening down the exposure. So I'm telling the camera that whatever that base exposure is that you're choosing for me, I now want it to be a little bit darker. And notice now how after making those adjustments to exposure compensation, that the histogram is more balanced between the left and the right edge. It's not touching either side necessarily, so that means we have a nicely balanced exposure, even though the light meter way on the far right side actually says it's a little bit underexposed. The histogram is telling us that actually we're in a good spot here. Now in manual mode, we can also use the histogram to balance our exposure, and currently my photo is way too dark, of course. And you can see on the histogram how all of the pixel information is over on that left-hand side, telling us that all of the pixels in this image are basically black. So I'm going to begin by lifting up my shutter speed because I'm currently on a tripod. I'm right by a river, so I want that to be a little bit slower. Maybe I'll get some water blur in this particular case with the slow shutter. But you'll notice that now I have a spike over on the far right side of the histogram. So that means I've gone a little too far. Things are overexposed now. So I'm going to dial back the shutter speed a little bit. And now that is already looking a lot better. So at this point, I have a nicely exposed photo, but maybe I want a little more depth of field. So I could change my aperture now to f11, let's say. Now I have a little more depth of field, but my photo has become a lot darker. And you can see the histogram has shifted back to the left side where we have those dark pixels. So now I have a bit more freedom to further lift up my shutter to add a more slow shutter in the image, now a half second, and we have a nicely balanced exposure looking at the histogram there. Even though, again, the light meter itself says that we're a little bit too dark, the histogram says that we're in a nice exposure for this photo. We can maybe go a little bit brighter like that, and now we could take that shot. So that's the histogram. Instead of trusting one averaged number from your light meter, you can actually see exactly where your exposure sits and make sure that you're not losing any detail before you take a photo. Now, if you want to make sure that all of this stuff sticks the next time you're out shooting, I put together a free histogram guide that you can download in the description below by signing up to my email list. It covers everything that we talked about today, how to read it, what to adjust, and some quick tips for different shooting scenarios. It's totally free when you join my mailing list. Unsubscribe whenever you want. If you hate mailing lists, that's fine. Either way, the link is in the description. I think you'll like it. Now, if you found this helpful or have more to add to the discussion on histograms, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below to then make this a more interesting and detailed discussion. Anyways, that's all for this one, and I'll see you next time.